Just little by little, huh? You, Benito. Benito, let's see. You. Okay, stop. Now me. Let it come over here. Leave it to me. To me. To me. Let's see. A little, more or less. Leave it. You. A little to the left of you. Come over here. More. Don't be afraid. More. Okay, freeze. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wonderful. Now let's start to put the rods conically, and then start sewing. Okay, let's go, guys. Up with it. Up with it. Little by little, it's all right. The door frame will also serve to better strengthen the structure of the hut. We need to tie them down, otherwise it's a danger. When there are enough sticks already assembled, it is convenient to secure the structure by tying them at their corner. The final fixing of all the rods at the corner leaves the structure of the hut safely finished. Juan has come with a donkey to the place where the brooms are cut to take them to the place of the construction of the hut. While Juan has been in charge of transporting the brooms, Benito has been preparing them in different sizes, according to the uses they will have in the hut. The larger brooms will be used to cover the lower part of the hut. As it goes up, they should be smaller. To assemble the brooms, it is necessary to tie several sticks of hazel around the framing, forming a series of concentric rings. The placement of the sticks follows a parallel order and maintaining a relatively uniform distance, because they need to be green. The greener, the better, because otherwise when they're dry, they can neither bend nor tie. Jacinto has come to help them when comes the time to tie the sticks, which require more physical effort, which is actually the one that is made on the ladder. The structure of the hut has been finished. Right now, we're beginning to cover the hut, and we are covering the rods that are covering the whole hut. These have to protect from the sun, the rain, the heat, the cold, and everything. As the brooms are covering the structure of the hut, the entrance area is ready to build the door. Right now, we're going to make a chimney. Not a chimney, but a window for the smoke to come out. Juan wants to give the final touch to the closing work. It's because over there in Extremadura, they used to put a sheepskin in the cone at the top of the hut. They would take it and put it in. The skin was intact, because if the water tried to get into the hut, it does not try to get in sideways. It gets into the top cone, where the hut ends. Jesus Saints also wants to contribute to the construction of the hut, contributing to what he does so well, to stew a lamb pot to eat it all together at the end of the work. In order to prepare the bunk bed, they will need about 20 struts with one of their ends well sharpened and several crossbeams. Well, now we're going to take measurements here to make the bed for the shepherds. First, they nail all the struts distributed around the interior to the measurements and distances previously established between them. The bed is so simple and practical as all the objects that the shepherds made in the mountains for personal use. The struts are set in the ground. On them are nailed the crossbeams that have to be adjusted to the established measurements. The first branches are supposed to be a little bit big, on condition so that you don't sink down. And then some crossbars every 10 centimeters so that you don't sink downwards. And then, after you put in the brooms, you put them together, one against the other small one, and this is fine there. On condition so that the bed does not sink. The denser the layer of brooms, the more comfortable the 7 or 8 shepherds sleep in the inside of the hut. Come now. Come on, let's make the door now. The construction of the door follows the same guidelines as the construction of the whole set. First, the wooden frame is assembled, of a larger size than the entrance. 4 wooden trunks forming a square figure and another transversal reinforcement make up the support of the door. On this frame are tied some cross rods, maintaining a short distance between them. In the same way that the surface of the hut was covered, the broomsticks, twisted together between the rods, served to cover the entire surface of the door. Well, we're going to put the last brooms here in the door of the hut. 5 minutes of boiling and out. And it's finished. The shepherds were accustomed to use a piece of bread as a plate. Tasting the excellent lamb stew that Jesus has prepared, altogether celebrate the completion of the hut. In other times, the shepherds of Nela divided up the spaces in the interior of the hut to occupy them and place the few objects that they had brought to the lands of Extremadura.